everyone. Welcome. So today is Thursday. We're recording this on Thursday, July 30th. And we're presently being joined by people from around the world. Actually, guys, in the comment section, there, tell us where you're visiting from. I see we've got people from Italy. We've got people from Belgium. Oh, the UK. That's great. So let's, everyone tell us where you're visiting from. I'd love to know everywhere. So this episode, we are going to be reviewing episode 104, Party Out, which is your my favorite episode.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
You like it? Well, it was a hard one for you to shoot. It was a hard one for everyone to shoot. We'll get into that in a bit.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Well, it was the hottest day on record in Toronto that day that we shot it.
That year.
Yeah, it was the hottest day of that calendar year. And it was crazy hot.
We were in the basement?
We were filmed in a basement. It's like one of these century-old homes where, there's no air conditioning. Yeah. And we had to cover all the windows because we couldn't let light in. But we also had to keep the windows shut because the neighbors did have air conditioning. So we had to shut their noise out.
And lawnmowers.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
We had to make a sauna.
Yeah, it was so hot.
In order to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was fun. So, but it wasn't the fourth episode we shot. We shot pretty much all of season 1. And then what was kind of interesting, what happened is so by this point, when this was the last episode we shot. And so episode 1 and 2 was out already. Mm-hmm. But reading all the feedback that we're getting from the audience is a lot of people were saying, well, they were saying oh, Vanessa's a bitch and why is she like that? And I got the impression that the audience, well, yeah, I mean, she was being so cold to Rose. And so it was oh, we got to talk to the audience. We have to demonstrate to the audience that, why Rose would be in love with this person who has been clearly not so nice, right? So we concocted this episode, and actually kind of all came from the Late July song.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a song in episode 7 that's the song where Rose has that dream by Late July. The name is eluding me right now.
I can hear it.
Yeah, me too. Beautiful piano bit. Anyway, so I gotten to know Miss Late July from that song, and then she and I started talking about making a music video because she wanted a music video for this song, Sideswept, and that's because she wanted me to make a music video for it. So she gave me the song, she gave me the lyrics, and I'm studying the lyrics, trying to figure what kind of music video can we make out of this. But I was still sort of my mind was so in out with Dadland that all I could think about was Rose and Vanessa while I was listening to the lyrics. And so I started writing this, and it's at the time where everyone's just oh, Vanessa. And so I thought to myself, well, what if I use this song? What if they're actually they are listening to it and they think it's their song? So I sat and had my meeting with Late July, and I told her all about these thoughts. And then because I had written the script and I had her lyrics, I even had as a character name. Remember in the script it just said Late July, and then it would be the lyrics. And I showed it to her, and she's just do it. Just make it. Okay, good. And then basically 2 days later we were shooting, and then 3 days later it was edited, and it was such a mad rush, and it was so crazy. And it was hot
and fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So without further ado, shall we press play? And the members that are watching with us live, hopefully you have it queued up to the 4-second mark, and the rest of us, I will superimpose it basically right here in front of me, which is why I put me the tall one here. So right, here we go. So press play in 3, 2, 1. Kenny hates watching himself dance in this. It's hilarious. Corey. Yes, yeah. And of course we come back to this song in the very last episode of season 3.
Yeah.
And much to his dismay, I love it.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was. Liz's friend, Lara, that's her song, Lara Martin, and it's a beautiful song. So one of the other things I learned through making this episode is that Lindsay is a great resource for pulling people together.
This is my first casting job.
It really was, wasn't it? I mean, these are all, all these people.
Party, and then I just kept casting people for things. So that's good.
So, you being pulled around by Corey, talk to me about that.
In that heat too, it was just it was It was fun, but it was just like such an enclosed space. There wasn't much room to go, and he would
No.
just pull me every single direction. So I was like, I hope I don't bump into anything.
Lights look good.
They do.
There's a bit of a flicker to them though that bugs me. That's the problem with the LED lights, right? Is that some of them they vibrate because they don't they have a flicker that the human eye usually doesn't notice, but cameras do. Yeah. And so here's the Late July music. So that was all basically, you guys we didn't rehearse it. You just did it, right?
This whole thing was pretty like improv-y. I remember you being like, can you like choreograph a little dance for you and Kate to do? And I was like, yes, I can. And I was like recording it in my room that morning. Not recording it, rehearsing it.
Your little dance?
Yeah, this.
She's like practicing.
I was like, what are we going to do? We'll do this.
And you basically just followed along very carefully.
Yeah. I was just like, follow me.
Because if Kate Call My Left Throw Device is dancing, is a lot of the robot. So you don't want to see that.
Do you remember that guy, Will, who was doing the card tricks in that part? He's in the blue T-shirt in the background.
Yeah.
There. He was a really sweet guy, and he actually came back a lot to help, like as a crew person
really?
and stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, I like that guy. Doing magic tricks. Oh my God, you guys are a riot.
This is the day people was like, oh, Vanessa is fun.
Well, that was the purpose of this
Yeah.
episode. We had to like make sure. Yeah. So Francois is asking who designed the party decorations. The lights are magic. Perfect, sweet setting for that scene.
Liz?
It was Liz.
I was late.
Of course it was
for some
Liz.
reason
Yeah, she was
that
art
day.
direction.
Yeah. And but like there's a whole bunch of us too. And oh yeah, some actual slow motion.
Yeah. And dancing.
Yeah.
This is why I had so much fun. I didn't have to like really act. I just got to dance.
You had like one line.
Yeah, right there it is.
Well, you had the spoken line before that where it's like, we're so dancing to this.
So
Suicide Day.
dancing,
right.
That was
which
it.
is just me. And then that line, Jason, like a week or a month later, was like, I need you to like record
No, it would have
this.
been days later because we had to publish this episode like right away, right?
Okay, so then I'm like in my room because I couldn't get to Scarborough. I lived like way out of town at that point, and I'm in my laptop in a little dorm room with all these new people I'm living with, and I'm just like, I can't love you. I can't love you.
And so she sends me a video file. So it's like a video of her file of her like leaning towards the, she's talking
My
into the
mouth.
microphone, but it's also the lens. So it's like her mouth going, I can't love you.
I want that.
It's
I
hilarious.
want that to come up on my phone every time you text me.
Oh my God, that's
I love
hilarious.
you.
I can't love you.
So Thomas is just asking if Sarah Robbins, the girl who's sitting on the stairs here, who later actually gets a character name.
Yes.
So she's I think she's a hoot. So I just wanted to keep bringing her back into this thing. And but Thomas was asking, is the same last name as Jonathan Robbins any relation? No.
Oh no,
No.
I've never even noticed that.
Yeah,
before.
same exact last name. Yeah. I think
No.
they joked with each other about it.
Sarah and I went to school together, so she was one of the awesome people who I said, anyone want to dance in a hot basement? You might get lines.
Make it
came.
I think actually in the script, no joke, because she'd been in a few other things.
She came out a lot. She's a
Yeah,
great supporter. of
And
the
so
show.
I think in the script it actually says Rose sits next to a girl who looks remarkably like
Like
Sarah
Sarah
Robbins. I think I actually wrote
she
that.
didn't have a name for her.
No, and she was still like in the credits. She's just credited as girl on stairs, and so yeah. So this was a big moment for both of us because like it was like a really sad scene where everyone else in the room was all happy and so like I, as a director, I had to think about like the mind space that you were in. I had to like shield you from all the happiness.
Too
Well,
much of it.
there's your
There's,
ADR.
that's me.
Wait, where were you?
that cut I
You
cut
missed
back
it.
to her.
Oh, dang it.
So that's recorded on her little like crappy computer thing. So talk to us about this process for you, like, because I'd never seen anyone like go to like you had to start relatively cool and then go from not cool down to sad to crying to bawling all
Mhm.
in one shot because I didn't want to cut. So what was that like?
Well, every actor has their own sort of way of doing it. I know a lot of actors who can just make themselves cry just on the fly. I can't do that. I need to think about a lot of really, really dark blue stuff. So yeah, so I was just like trying to focus on just being in a different place. And it is tough, but most film sets, it's like you kind of can't escape it. You have to just kind of deal with all the people joking and having a good time because you don't want to be that, jerk being like, everybody just let me be in my hole here and shut up. Like that's nobody likes that actor.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like try to be in my own world, and you're really good at least somewhat shielding.
Well, yeah, and that's something like I think it was like making this episode that kind of clued into like that is a job of a director, you know, is to create that space that the actors need for it. And you know, sometimes it is you do have to actually say to other people like, hey guys, you know, less joking right now. And usually right away people are like, oh yeah, we got it, you know, because you know all this emotional stuff. And
but it doesn't last very long. People start giggling.
It's hard, yeah, because it is so much fun, especially on a day like
finale, like the season 3 finale day. I remember that room was like,
yeah, that's right.
What is happening?
Everyone was just like,
I can still remember.
In their sniffles.
I can still remember because like there's the shot when Rose goes to answer the door. And so I knew I was going to cut before the door actually opened, but I just, you know, so I'm like, okay, just go answer the door and then we'll cut the camera. And, but you were there and you opened the door but I was behind the camera in the kitchen and everyone else was in the living room, like just behind the wall there. Right. And then Bruce, I remember coming in the room, he was like, hey, Jason, you know how you told the girls not to go there? They went there. I'm like, really? And like, I see them, they already have, we're probably
gonna be talking about this again when we do the commentary for that episode, but it was also like the realization that it was over. Like it was just more like every time I was like, oh, this is the last shot. This is the last shot.
Well, it was designed that way. Like we
so that was
it was even that was even like inconvenient to schedule it that way, but it's so important to me. Like the first shot that we filmed as a season was the first shot of the season, and then the final was the final, and that was super cool. So Michelle is asking, the episode was shot in the basement of the house that was. How did you know that? Yes, that's true. Yeah. Oh no, because it says in the end credits. That's why. Because I say thanks to legal friend Fraser. Yeah. So yeah, because that is my aunt and uncle. So
actually, Vanessa's house.
No, the basement belongs to what?
But it's
what was the Desiree? That was the name that ultimately Sarah Robbins' character got, and I decided that was her party. Girl on the stairs. A retcon that.
But that basement is the house where we also
the same
shot
house.
Vanessa's house. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. We actually used in the first season. Yeah, in the first season we actually used a different house for Vanessa's house. Because we shot that at my sister's. The one with the chemistry episode.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was the introduction of Wendy, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, that was a different house, but it just, you know, when it came time to doing subsequent seasons, it was, you know, it was too much for my sister to be able to help us. So yeah, that was a fun episode to make. And then I also remember I have this problem, and I really learned it on this shoot too, is that I forget to hydrate when I'm directing. And in the behind the scenes footage, you can actually see someone come up to me like, here, Jason, have you drank water? I'm like, yeah. And I reach for the water bottle, and then someone asks me a question over here. I'm like, oh, and I walk away from it. So I'm like, someone was even trying, I think it was Eric, was trying to make me drink water, and I didn't. And the next morning, I woke up feeling hungover, even though it's just
didn't drink water.
So there is some behind the scenes stuff, because that was another cool thing, right? Is because Will Conlon really got into, like, he fell in love with the cameras we were using, so he actually ended up getting his own camera. So this was the first time we were shooting with more than one camera.
Ooh.
So he was camera operating for a lot of the dance scenes. So that was a really exciting experience for him. I know he really enjoyed that, and it was really good for me because we were able to do, more in less time, which on a hot day like that was important.
We were okay with that.
Yeah. So how long did it take to shoot that 6-minute episode?
A day.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a full day. Like,
I think we started at like 11 or something, and then probably went to like 2 or 3.
Might have been a little bit more than that.
4.
Because we did take our time setting up, and like we had a lot of fun. And Thomas, his question on my phone there is what was it? It seems really chaotic, and it did seem chaotic, and the sets are kind of, but because we are having a lot of. It's organized chaos, but it's also like it depends on what the schedule's like. Like on a day like that, we had, only I guess 4 or 5 pages to shoot, and we knew we basically had all day, so we could be more relaxed and take our time and allow for more shenanigans. And but then other days where it's like, you know, if we got 15 pages we got to shoot.
Season 3.
Yeah, it's just
in
like
the schools.
yeah, we just so
Not the schools.
The school.
the school
day.
scenes, it was just like we had to, like, there was just no time for joking around. Or when we did the musical, like, you know, because we had a technical problem that day, and so it's like we had to like reshoot a bunch on the day, and it was just like boom boom, like there's no time for messing around.
We'll get to that video.
We'll get to that one.
commentary
That's a
day.
huge story. So was it hard to like that episode, we're being asked? No, actually it was kind of easy and kind of cheating, because you could actually see some of the foil wrapper stuff that goes on the light bulbs. And I just remember on the day deciding I don't care if people see that, but
No, there's like
It's-
it's meant to be there.
yeah. I went to plenty of parties that were lit just like that, and I think all of the
Film students. Film
no,
students.
that's high school days or like that. No, that totally looked exactly like the parties I would attend, and my high school friends know whose house I'm talking about. They're like, that's what they were like, and there was totally no homage to that. Jules, if you're watching, she had the best parties. So we but yeah, I remember, you know, I put some black wrap on those exposed bulbs because they were casting too much light on the background, and it made it so that the all the Christmas lights didn't stand out enough. So I remember that's why those are there, just to block that. But it was backlighting you guys in color. Are the girls actually singing along, or did you lip sync? I think it was kind of a bit of both.
I think we're singing it.
I think we're singing it because you just added in the track on top. So to
Yeah.
keep the
Well,
beat, we
you know
just
what?
sang
You know what?
along with the
No,
track.
actually, I didn't that much. I did. I sort of like. So yeah, we did record audio on the scene. We did have the song playing,
Yeah.
and you were singing along with it, as the
Yeah.
characters would have been. And but I made the mistake of not recording it properly. Like wasn't using our proper mics and all that kind of stuff. So that audio is actually just the camera audio, and I mixed in the nice, clean quality sound of the song, and then eventually I sort of just drowned out the camera audio altogether. Then it's only the audio from the song as it got more intimate. But then, because that's why I needed to get you to record that line, because we didn't actually record it
Best day.
with the right audio. So there, and then go figure. I used that audio again in a later episode, didn't I?
Yeah, you do. I can't remember what episode, but you do. And I laughed really hard. I was like, ah,
It was the season finale of season 2.
it's a dream one.
It's
isn't
the
it?
yeah. I had to recycle that audio, which was fun to watch, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. She's like leaning towards the microphone.
I kind of.
So I think that's that. Next episode is the blind date with Dad. But I was thinking, but the one after that is so short, so I was thinking maybe the next time we'll do 2 episodes in a row. Yeah. So was it difficult knowing the audience was not warming up to Vanessa or misunderstood her?
I think it was informative. I think it was the best thing that, I don't know, kind of comes out of web series that I always enjoy, is like reading the comments and being like, oh, we can fix that,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what we did. It was like, well, that's a very good observation.
Yeah.
Like, why would you like someone who's
Yeah,
really
because
kind to you?
it wasn't a criticism on Vanessa or Lindsay, but if anything, it was a criticism on the writing. And while you and I both knew what was going on in Vanessa's mind, well, obviously so
You
did
had to
you,
wait
but
till
Rose didn't.
Season, like,
Yeah.
3 to find
Well,
out. so.
even just like, you know, we knew that, you know, eventually you're going to see Vanessa's mom, and then, you know, there's going to be a lot of aha and all that kind of stuff, and then you're going to realize, oh, that's where she's coming from and all that jazz. But
I didn't want to wait.
we didn't want to wait. And so it's, you know, it's an interesting thing about this medium is, like, as we're releasing things, you know, the season 1, it was every other week. And so as we're releasing it, it's like you're asking people to wait 2 whole weeks for another, you know, 5 to 10 minutes of story. And that seems like a long time. And whereas new fans of Out with Dad, they may not be asking the same question because they're just binging it. For them, it's like an hour of experience. Whereas for original viewers, it was like several months experience, right? And so I'm finding the same thing with season 4, which is I'm happy that we're doing it the way we're doing it, because, you know, with it being month to month, while the wait is excruciating, we get to hear your feedback, and I am sort of, the scripts are being impacted by feedback, you know, like My favorite one actually was like someone the night before we shot on the island. Remember, I said, actually you read it too. Remember, someone said like, oh, it's really, how can you break up all the couples? And like all the couples have broken up, and like that seems so unrealistic, which I actually disagree. Like it's super realistic. After high school, everyone breaks up. So I got Jonathan to.
Except my parents. Hey,
Well,
Mom and Dad.
my parents are high school sweethearts
Yeah.
too. So and actually so are technically Rose's parents, right?
Yeah.
So for Rose,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. For Rose, it's a weird thing because she thinks that is the norm, but that's not the norm. Like really, like people break up after high school.
Yeah.
Like you try it through, but then by Thanksgiving, it's like it's game over. So I got Jonathan to just add a line about that when he's talking to Rose in the island outing episode, and it's kind of cool to be able to like just react to episodes. And so so a lot of the big changes I'm talking about, like wanting to bring Vanessa and Claire back into the story, it's like that's reaction to feedback too. So your feedback matters. Thanks, guys.
Mhm.
All right.
Rockin'.
Okay, goodbye everyone.
Bye.
So let's hit cut.
Bye.
Bye.